Good segue.
Which is a good segue because today's topic is going to be good sex and bad sex. Number one, would you stop a relationship or stop dealing with somebody if the sex game was bad?
Right.
Or and conversely, would you stay if it's good? And
and I think that's a good question because we talk about so much as gay men that we jump into things really quickly. We jump into the bed, especially really quickly.
Absolutely.
That maybe we should try to wait like a traditional type of Christian arrangement. But you know, how about if you do wait and try to do the right Christian thing? And then all of a sudden,
that sex game is right.
Is horrible. What do you do? And the reason we came up with this topic, I just want to go ahead and shout out Archie Banks in Atlanta. Thank you for giving us this topic.
Good looking out, Archie.
Yes, he and his friends had a conversation about our show.
Okay.
And they came up with some topic suggestions and threw that topic my way. And I just wanted to shout them out for giving us that. So thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Everybody that's looking and been giving us good suggestions. We've been getting some great suggestions. And that's one of the reasons I'm so excited.
Right, because we got so much, it's so much material and it's coming from our viewers and we love you for it. I want to jump right into this one though because once you told me about this one, like I said, I did a little reading on it. And one of the things that I read, and I read several articles, but one of the things that stuck out to me is in situations where the sex is bad. Many people that have covered this topic have said that when the sex is bad, it's not necessarily worth dissolving the relationship over if there are other things that are going extremely well in the relationship.
That sounds like somebody who's having good sex, but go ahead.
Right. Really? That's like somebody who's having good sex?
Yes.
They said, you know, if you're having bad sex with the person, but, you know, your relationship is strong in other ways, you guys are taking care of each other very well. You know, you this person has a good relationship with your family members, and you've integrated that part of it into your life. If other things surrounding the sex being bad is there, then it's worth working on it. And not only that, bad sex can be remedied via communication. Now, I'll say this because even in my own experiences, and this is what I believe is with the situation when you're in bad sex. When you're having bad sex, I feel like when you're having bad sex with somebody, you're not communicating what it is that you really like to do.
That's one aspect, or it could be that you're communicating it and that the person's just not able to give you what it is that you're communicating. I'm gonna say this, you know, as far as bad sex is concerned, you know, I like in theory what you read, that, you know, you can articulate to your partner and work through issues and that, you know, it shouldn't be a deal breaker, but I'm speaking from experience.
Okay.
Honestly, I've been in situations where I have been with someone, I could not stand them, but I had great sex.
Absolutely.
But I've been in a situation that didn't work. I've been in a situation where the sex was terrible, but I absolutely love the person as a person. So let's just talk about that one first.
Okay.
Right? It didn't work.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you, it's hard to work out the situation and have bad sex because that leads to so much more. Infidelity being one of them.
Right.
You know
and that dissatisfaction. So like I said, I think that's what the article was saying. Like, that bad sex is very dangerous when there are other things in a relationship that may not be satisfying as well.
Okay.
It kind of exacerbates the problem. So what they say is, you know, even though you shouldn't leave a relationship for bad sex, that bad sex can definitely destroy a relationship. So when you find out or you discover that that's the case between you and your partner, the best thing to do is to try to address it immediately and as effectively as possible.
But addressing it could also mean we are not sexually compatible. We need to be friends. Don't you think that's addressing it?
Absolutely. I think you definitely address it. If that's a conclusion that you come to, then you know you do have to deal with the conclusion of, okay, we don't work together physically, and you know we have to think of other alternatives. Right. You know, be that if it's leaving each other, or in some cases, some people don't leave each other.
What do they do? Invite other people into their relationship?
You know, they do other things. You know, they fulfill each other. They find sexual fulfillment or physical fulfillment elsewhere. You know what I mean? I mean,
that's not cheating?
I'm pretty sure it is, but is it cheating when everybody mutually agrees? Like if we were in a situation and we say, okay, we don't sexually mesh,
Right.
but everything else is great. Like you balance the shit out of the
Yes.
checkbook. I can clean like I can clean like an immigrant.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You cook your ass
I
off.
cook my ass off, too, also like an immigrant. You know what I mean? And other things are working with our household,
Right.
and we just make the mutual decision to
Right.
find physical fulfillment elsewhere.
It's permissive cheating.
Yeah, it's permissive cheating, but like I said, in a situation like with bad sex, and I'm just saying that only as a hypothetical option to, fixing this problem. The other thing that was mentioned was the ramifications of good sex and how bad sex can destroy a good relationship,
Yeah.
and how good sex can perpetuate or cause a bad relationship to continue a lot longer than it should. And
Okay, so let's go into that, but let's finish the bad sex first,
Okay, good.
Let's just break it up into, because those are two different conversations, even though they're interconnected.
Right.
Two different conversations, but the bad sex, to me, bad sex is like a cancer in a relationship. Even if every motherfucking thing is going right in that relationship, if the sex is bad, eventually it starts to affect other parts of the relationship. To me, that's how I look at it, because, as easy as it seems to communicate like that somebody is not doing something right in the bedroom, that's a very hard thing. And then every individual is different. Some people are hypersensitive.
Right.
You can say something that can destroy their whole life.
Like I was gonna say, destroy their ego. And I think that's a good thing to talk about when we talk about bad sex situations and fixing it. I think for couples that are going through this or may have this issue, I think it is very important, if your priority is to save the relationship or salvage the relationship, you really have to be mature and really try as much as you can to deactivate your ego. You know what I mean? To get to the root of that problem.
And then there's also motherfuckers that don't know how to talk to other people too.
Right.
Be like, why can't your dick stay up?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
You
God,
on steroids or something?
What's wrong with you? Okay. Look, I'm just like, that motherfucker is just too damn little. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I have tried.
Right, because me, somebody's been nibbling on my nipple, they be like, "Gang, gang, gang, gang." I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And it just came out like that. I didn't know what happened.
I know what you're talking about.
What the fuck off me like that?
This is true, so you have to make sure that if the sex is bad, that you are strong enough to, receive criticism. If you want to save that relationship. So that's what I would recommend for couples that are experiencing that. Like, make sure that you're willing to go into this, and part of that has a lot to do with trusting your partner and all of these other things. Yeah. And I think if you have the trust level with your partner enough to be able to discuss those things and to say, I really prefer you wear a strap on because your dick is too damn small. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Whatever your particular issue is, or whatever the particular sex issue is, to be able to trust your partner enough to know that whatever their issue is, you're willing to address it, and vice versa, so that you can get through, that particular type of situation.
Well, I have one more issue to add on to the bad sex situation. I'm a Cancer. As I said in previous episodes, I got some mail from that. Me being a Cancer.
Oh,
which is
really?
funny. So before we end the bad sex conversation, what I wanted to say, I wanted to finish up that I'm a Cancer, and as a Cancer, what we tend to do.
What?
You funny. Okay. What we tend to do is to view sex as a mechanism to determine how the person feels about us. Okay? And so, I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do, but it's something that we do. So if you having bad sex with me, I'm like, wow, you ain't give a fuck about me.
You don't love me.
You don't love me.
You don't love me.
You know what I'm saying? Then I gotta find somebody who do. I'm
No, I'm the same way. Like I said, I definitely align my physical experience and with the actual emotional experience.
And you a Virgo, right?
Yes.
That's how they do?
I don't know how they do. I just know what I do, and I know this. Like, I definitely look at, like, I think it's so. If I'm having great sex with somebody, it's gonna be so easy for me to stay in love with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you feel like that sex is, like you said, representative of how the person feels.
I stay in love with you.
Yes, I will stay in love with you if you you know, if you're having good sex. So I think it definitely is important. But I will say this, that based on some of the stuff I read and some of the stuff that I shared, I would encourage those people that may be out there in relationships where the sex isn't, optimal, to research and find out and try to work that out with your partner if you feel like it's worth it. Work it out with your partner and try to work it out. Like, bad sex is not necessarily a reason to end a good relationship.
Well, I understand that, but there are different levels. There are levels to this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's just bad and there are things that you can work on, that things that are reparable, then that's fine. But if it's just horrible sex and both of y'all are tops and no one's willing to bend type situation.
Y'all should. I mean, I'm talking about people that. I'm thinking like in a relationship, like y'all should have figured that out a long time ago. Like if y'all still went ahead with a relationship with that, knowing that you deserve each other, like whatever, and good luck. But yeah, I'm talking about those people that are in relationships, that are in good relationships, but their partner is unresponsive or not bringing any spice to the game, or
not doing what you like,
not doing what you like, or doing too much, whatever side they fall on, and it's not compatible, but you have a good relationship in other ways, it's worth working on. It's not a reason to let the relationship go.
That's how you feel about it.
That's how I feel about it. That's what a lot, of the people that I read, they felt about it. They felt it's not worth ruining a good relationship. You know what I mean? Because you can work out. I think you can work out sexual issues if both parties are willing. Like if it's something that's like physiological and you can't change the physicality of it, then you might be in trouble. But I'm saying for those people that just may not have somebody that is willing to, talk dirty to them, or may not have somebody that is willing to have rough sex, or somebody that just wants to have like plain, like run of the mill, like regular sex, what I mean? It's not bringing anything to it, or you have somebody that is way too off the chain porno style all the time, and you need them to calm it down. Like, you know what I mean? These are the things I'm talking about that are fixable issues. When it's just is a difference of perspective. You know what I mean? But like I said, if it's something physical that the person can't necessarily change, like, you're dating somebody that, is 5'2", but you are really turned on by basketball players, then yeah, you're gonna have trouble, making that work or whatever. But I mean, if it's something that, communication can fix, or, you're just not being courageous enough to tell, to tell your mate that you like double penetration or whatever.
Or be pissed on.
Or you like to be pissed on, whatever it is, whatever your proclivity is. If it's something that you're not getting, it's worth communicating to the person. As long as it's not anything that's harmful to you or he. You know what I mean?
Put it out there. If you don't fix it, pack his bags.
And put it, even if you have to put it out there as an ultimatum, I don't know. But I think bad sex, my final word on it is bad sex is not a reason to ruin a good relationship.
My final word is bad sex doesn't necessarily have to be a reason to end a relationship, but it's never worked out like that for me. Personally, it's been...
No, I don't mean to say it's perfectly acceptable if you end the relationship because of bad sex, because honestly, if you are not able to get over it, then it's going to be a deal breaker. But I'm just saying, for those that may be struggling with that, and maybe a little bit may have needed some guidance on what to do about it, be assured that other people have encountered the problem and gotten over it through communication.
That's true, because sex is not everything, but it is a big thing. Right. Which leads us to good sex, and when you're getting that good sex.
Yes, God.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you been there?
I have been there getting great sex.
But the relationship was otherwise toxic.
The relationship was otherwise toxic. I mean, drugged through the mud, type shit. I mean, when like they say, what is it? Good dick and bad self-esteem. Is a deadly lethal combination. So when I've personally been in that relationship, not where it was a situation where my self-esteem or anything was being compromised, or my self-respect, but my tolerance level for bullshit was
Yes.
definitely being tested to its full and
Right.
otherwise thought unreachable limits.
Right, all time high.
All time high, just on the strength of that physical chemistry
Yeah.
between me and that person was just so out of control, and for me personally it was unprecedented.
That's true.
So it was, for me, it was so good sex made it so much easier to make bad decisions.
Yes,
If you know what I'm
I do.
saying.
Now that one I totally agree
Yeah.
on. I've been there,
Yes.
done that, got the t-shirt, wear it every now and then.
Right, just to remind yourself, bitch, don't do it again. Right.
Yeah, oh, that's such a bad place to be though.
Yes.
I honestly, to think that you could be in a relationship with a motherfucker that is just so dead wrong for you, based on the fact that he put it down right like the way you want, that is correct.
It is crack.
It's cray.
I think it goes back to what you said though, how like we both kind of concluded in the earlier segment that, you know, that physical expression for me,
Yeah.
it becomes an emotional attachment.
That's what it is.
And I start to think, you know, no matter how bad it is or how effed up this situation is, that the way that this person interacts with me physically
Right.
is actually what the relationship is built on, and is
Right.
what's keeping the relationship alive.
That God's gonna see us.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
The resolution. But we pay down.
Okay, just do it to me again. Just do it. Just don't. But I read about that too, and the thing that I read about was just that you know, a lot of times when you're in a situation where you're having great sex,
Yes.
it can cause you to overlook the bad things about a relationship to both of your own detriment. And you have to watch that situation, and we know about that. We know many abusive relationship, whether it's physical or emotional abuse,
Right.
or psychological abuse, where people will endure these situations because that physical interaction is so intense.
Right.
And you know what the going recommendation for that type of situation is to get out of that situation, because typically when this is happening, you can clearly see that the other things about the relationship are bad,
Right.
and that the only thing that is good is the sex. And it just tells you to ask yourself that question. If you think, if you're struggling with this once again, and you're not sure whether or not to stay or go, you know, it just says make a list. What's good, what's bad.
Oh,
If all
God.
you end out with is great sex, and I love him so much, then you probably should go.
You know, that theory is amazing, but once again, just like it's hard to stay in a relationship when it's bad sex, it's just as hard
To leave.
that relationship when it's great sex. You know, like, I'm sorry, it's hard not to see things from rose-colored glasses, like whenever you are getting basically fucked down.
Right.
You know,
I
like,
mean, I would
whatever
say
it is,
this. I would say
you
this
do.
because, like I said, I've been in it. I had personal experience with this particular situation. My thing is, it's not easy, but I tell
you
you.
was gonna tell us what the situation was.
Oh no,
I
I'm
don't
not.
like to hear.
No, I'm not gonna say what the situation is. Classified information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Classified information. You know, maybe I'll write a song about it or something.
Okay,
I
well,
don't know. Yeah, no. I think when I was in that situation, what I did was the very hard thing to do. I took the high road. I put on my big boy jammies, and I was like, you know what? I'm worth more than fucking with somebody that is not the best match for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because the fucking is great, or just because the sex is great. And you know, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of mental fortitude.
And
it
time.
takes a lot of personal. It takes a lot of time. Well, it takes time to get over it. You can break clean. You can make the big decision all at once. You know what I'm saying? The hard part is sticking to that big decision.
That's
so
true.
I say, for those of you that are in that situation, you know, if you know that's all it is, trust me, there are other people out there that you are sexually compatible with. There are other people out there that can make you feel like that person that you're with is, and you won't believe that at first. And I know, you know, like I was,
Or at second.
or at third. I was in that situation where I was just like, no, this is the best sex I've ever had.
Yes.
I'm not letting this go. But at the same time, I trust and believe you can find it again. It's hard to come by, definitely.
Right.
But it's still, at the end of the day, it's not worth it if the rest of the relationship is pulling that ass down.
I absolutely agree with that. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't agree with it.
Right.
That is so true. If a relationship is built on good sex and that's really the only redeeming quality of your relationship, that is not a good situation to be in.
It's not a relationship.
It's not.
You know, by definition, it's not a relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's
a situation. It's whatever. But
it's crazy, unhealthy, crazy toxic. Get out, run.
Right.
Don't walk, but run to the next exit.
Run.
But I understand that it's very hard because I've been in it where the relationship went on 2 or 3 years longer than it was supposed to.
Thank you. Oh, bitch, when you do that, when you do that shit, like when you do. Hold on, we back. Before the break, Q was just saying how you know that shit goes on 2 or 3 years longer. That shit, oh bitch, you know that's the truth. When it goes on 2 or 3 years longer, and this the other tea when you knew that at the second week.
Right.
You knew that.
But like, I ain't gonna say that.
But y'all done had sex 6 times in between the first week. And then second week it got better. And you was just like,
I ain't gonna say nothing.
I ain't gonna say
nothing.
I ain't gonna say that. But yes, like trust me, good sex in a bad relationship can make that relationship last extremely longer than you and I can even probably imagine it lasted.
Good sex is like Elmer's. It will keep you stuck to a motherfucker.
It'll keep you stuck. And I'll tell you this in the article that I read, it literally said that it can become a narcotic. Like the sex in the relationship can literally be, especially when it's lined up against or set adjacent to a very bad relationship.
Yeah.
Like having great sex in a really bad relationship can have a drug-like effect on the participants. Absolutely. Where they use that as kind of like an emotional and a physical high to escape all of the pain that they actually are causing each other by being together.
It's like heroin.
It's like it's like, but and the thing about that is like a really, as far as mental health and emotional health goes, that is a real dangerous cocktail.
I was gonna let that one go ahead and slip right by, but I got you. You're right. It's a dangerous cocktail.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, like I said, I've been there. I've been in a relationship where the relationship wasn't the best relationship, but the sex just kept it going, and the sex had us both thinking that we were really in love. Like we really thought it was the love of a lifetime, where probably the more appropriate definition was it was the sex of a lifetime.
Right.
Which is damn good too.
So you think you should have just been fuck buddies basically?
I don't see, that's the problem, because I don't necessarily believe in I don't personally believe in having fuck buddies. I have a personal preference towards relationships. Okay. I'm not a casual sex dater type person, because this is the problem with that great sex situation. No matter how much I could attest to saying this is going to be a fuck buddy situation, because I so closely relate my physical expression of love and my emotional interpretation of love, I am still going to be in love with the person that is fucking me the best.
Well, I will too. I will too if it's reciprocated. But for all those who just want to have a random casual fling, and if it's not reciprocated, I can do that too.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And great sex will make you consider it, even if you're a person like myself that doesn't necessarily get down like that.
So you be like, I don't even like this. I'm really conflicted. I'm so conflicted right there.
Right, but I'm also addicted. I'm addicted. Okay, I'm addicted to the conflict. It's an addiction to the confliction.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's an addiction to the confliction.
So it definitely will. Like I said, good sex will definitely help you make bad decisions. It will. You gotta watch it.
Ideally, it's better to be in a relationship, obviously, with someone that you love and respect and get along with and really can turn it out in the bedroom. But let's be honest, how often does that really happen? In my life,
Yeah, I can literally count the times. So
yeah, I would be married right now if that was the case, obviously, and I'm not. So, you know, a lot of times I meet people that I have really banging sex with, but I would never even consider being in a full-fledged relationship with.
Right.
And then, you know, people that I really love, but it's just not sexually there. That hurts too. I mean,
oh God, like I said, I just think, I think if you're like, and it goes back to, we talked about this already, but I just think if you're in a situation where you really love the person, but physically the sex is not working out, I encourage you to dig as deep as you possibly can as a couple to address it, because like I said, a lot of what I read said that is actually overcomable, believe it or not.
I don't necessarily believe that's most of the situations.
I think so, but I also have to go back to what we both said about how we view physical sex and the physical expression of love.
Right.
So I think for people like ourselves, one of the ways to overcome that is to try to look at it in very practical terms and say, I'm going to detach my feelings and not be in my feelings about the fact that somebody I really love is not satisfying me, and let's try to get to the bottom of that satisfaction now, or try to get to the bottom of that. Now, I think it's worth a shot, even if you're not a person that feels completely comfortable with addressing those kinds of issues. I think if you're in a good relationship, you owe it to the person, you owe it to yourself to try to work that out.
I agree with you. I just think that it's more of a, once you're a person of a particular age and you understand what it is that, you know, gets you going, gets your mojo going, it's harder to tweak those things and adjust them. Like, if it's something I absolutely hate to do, but that's what you absolutely love, it's hard for me to do that. Maybe when I'm younger and I'm still trying to define what it is that I like, it's a little bit easier to work within those friends. Like, once I'm at this age, I know exactly what it is to get the party popping, get it on popping.
Right.
So if you don't want to do that at all,
well, and like I said, I think when you're in a situation like that with somebody you love, that's where the sacrifice comes in, and you may have to expand your horizon.
But yeah, I also get something out of someone that actually enjoying doing certain things to me. So you sit down there licking,
but
and
like I said, that's what I think it's a mutual thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's for both of you to try to broaden your perspective and try to tailor that satisfaction to each other. Because once again, if, like you said, if you like, if you are a person that likes to see the person that you're with enjoying themselves, you may be more inclined to, kind of like fulfill their wishes and to be responsive to what they want, even if it is something that you don't necessarily do, if the reaction to you doing it is the payoff for you. So you can definitely just like we just talked it through, you can talk it through. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think, like I said, this goes back to people that are having bad sex in good relationships. It's worth talking it through.
That's true. So let's go ahead and close this topic. So what's your final words on this?
My final word on this, bad sex, good relationship, try to save it. Good sex, bad relationship, you gotta get out. You gotta work, you gotta get out,
I will say also, good sex, bad relationship, run. Don't walk to the nearest exit. Bad sex, great relationship, try to work it out, but don't feel bad or feel guilty if it does not work and you guys have to end up being friends, because it happened to me and we are the best of friends now. It just wasn't meant to be.
Right. I like that. That's very mature. Once again, this is the tag team. My phone is ringing, coming all on the mic, fucking everything up. We love y'all for watching.
We love you. I'm Q.
This is Merc B.
And you can find us on Twitter at MeQuintonio,
at Mercedes Boy.
And we're out.
We're out. But once again, thank you to Archie for the topic. This was good.
Thanks, Archie. And friends. Bye.
Peace.